So everybody calls me Bridge. So.
All right. Brawl Network, Bridge, I back. About Zach Smith up, talking big game and attributes here just a minute ago, and your crappy fantasy football leagues. It was a full mix of dose.
Yeah.
But talking about McCaffrey, yeah, that one sucked for this year, I'll tell you what.
Yeah, it's not good. So hopefully, what's going to be good is maybe somewhere in the near future, in 2021 or 2022, we'll draft Zach Smith on their fantasy team and see if he's going to be the guy or not, right, man? How cool would that be, right?
Hey, that'd be awesome. God willing, that'd be awesome.
It looks, you look the part. That's a good thing. Tall, 6'3", 225, everything that people are looking for in a quarterback. And as you go down, and we put together little odds and ends of you, but I go in here in the notes and it says you love fishing and hunting, and if you give me any guy, it would be Teddy Roosevelt, right? These are all facts about you, and I'm like, I love that.
Yeah, right.
He's a
little rough rider,
rough rider,
Let's go, right? That made it sound smart, like we actually know history.
Right? Yeah, we know who he is. He was a president.
Yes, sir.
So when you're going to sit and talk to a lot of scouts, okay, this week. You and I talked off air about this, how this is such a great opportunity for someone like you who's been invited to all the other All-Star games that aren't taking place, right? And so, but it's a chance for you to showcase in your talent. This is, in this format, this is built for quarterbacks, right? I mean, you're going to be able to show your arm strength. You're going to be able to show your foot quickness, movement in the pocket, leadership abilities. Give me some of the things that when a scout watches you, what are they going to say is a Zach Smith strength in that? What do you feel is the assets you bring to a team?
I would say my leadership ability. I feel like, just on and off the field, I might not be the biggest, rah-rah guy or, stuff like that. But, whenever I say stuff, I mean it. And, I think guys, kind of understand that. That, and then, just kind of, as far as like in-game stuff, just my mental capabilities as far as, there's going to be, mountains and valleys in games. And, I just try to stay, as even keel as possible. And, don't get too high, don't get too low. And then just toughness and competitiveness.
Okay, I want you to know, so just so you see my notes, and if you could see this at home, the number one thing I wrote on here is outstanding leader, okay? And one of the things that you can see that from film, the way your teammates react to you when there's a big play, or even when there's an interception, right? Through too many of those this year, correct? And
yes,
but I'm saying, how they reacted to you and how they responded to help rally, either good or bad. That's a big deal to me. I love that, especially from a quarterback position. The other thing I watch is when I'm watching film or I'm doing homework, I'm watching games live, and which I've watched you live quite a bit this year, how your teammates react to you coming to the sidelines. Okay, right? When the offensive linemen want to talk to you, when they want to get corrections, when the receivers want to come get corrections from you, running backs get corrections from you, that is a sign of a leader. And I think that's a huge thing. And that's going to be a big step for you in the NFL. And I think that's what these teams are going to want to see. So I love that you brought that up first, because that's what every quarterback should be, right? Yes, before you talk about arm strength, before you talk about, the mechanics, before you talk about anything else, men follow other men, especially at that position in the NFL. I don't care if you're a third quarterback or whatever else, right? I mean, we were just talking about Tyler Hankey, dude, guys balling freaking in the playoffs, and the team, all the guys was on the practice squad for people that didn't know him 3 weeks ago. Yeah. And then Chase Young's pointing his name out and stuff like that. That is awesome. And that's a sign of a leader. You have that quality. How about weaknesses? What do you need to work on that next step to be able to play on Sundays?
I would say, stuff that I need to work on. Obviously, the stat lines, the interceptions, got to cut down on those, obviously. Yep. It's going to be hard to win games when you turn the ball over. Then I would just say, footwork, inside and outside of the pocket. As far as getting outside of the pocket, just, escaping and then just making sure that I'm keeping my eyes downfield and, just finding my guys. And then, just footwork inside the pocket, as well, which I think that's kind of a thing that you're going to continue to work on, throughout your entire career. So I would say those things are the biggest things that I need to work on.
We talk about some of the interceptions, but you also threw a whole hell of a lot of touchdowns too, right? So there's something to that.
Yes, sir.
And you know what? I like to see almost stat lines like this and something, if you clean up this. But it shows aggression. and it shows you moving the ball downfield. You don't fear when you're in the game. And see, I think you can correct some things like footwork, right? But you cannot learn that aggression. You cannot learn attack downfield if you either have it in you or you don't.
Yeah.
You got it in you, and that's why there's a place for you as you continue on with that fire and the size and being able to put the ball anywhere you want.
Yes,
you
sir.
know, that's a big part of what he can bring.
There is a throw against Okie State, okay, for a touchdown, the corner of the end zone. You know what I'm talking about? I know you do. Every quarterback knows every one of the throws, but there is a throw that he throws. It's an NFL throw. I mean, it was on a rope, corner, great placement, great accuracy, everything else like that. That was when I watched a lot of film or whatever. That was when I knew right there. I was like, all right, this kid's got it. Like you can make it to the next step. Is there another throw when you're talking to these teams and a team says, hey, give me your 3 best games, or where do we find our best Zach Smith? Is there one I need to watch more besides that one? Is there other throws that I'm like, all right, that's a real deal?
I would say there's one against UCF right before halftime. I threw a couple of good throws right there before halftime. I had not many seconds left on the clock. We're down by, 21 at that point.
Okay.
Something like that. Threw a corner to the sideline, ran a good route, made a good throw. Thought that was a really good throw. And then I think it was the next play, looked right, climbed up, and then had another guy streaking down, had 2 guys beat, and then put it out there, made a good catch for a touchdown. Another one for the UCF game would be, I think it was to take the lead. Had a guy, I don't know how far we were, maybe 15, 20 yards from the end zone. Keelan Stokes, he'd beat a linebacker and the linebacker was trailing him across the back of the end zone. And then I put it out there, put it on him, took the lead, and then, we just had momentum after that. So
it was great.
I would say those are probably
a big one, right?
Yeah, for sure.
I think that was the biggest one in school history. Am I wrong on that?
I think it tied it.
Okay, maybe
something like that. I'm not sure. It was up there for sure.
Do you feel like you can make every throw in the NFL? Do you feel like you can hit every window? I mean, the one that everybody talks about, right, the deep out, and from the far hash, you feel like you have the arm strength to do that? Do you need to feel like you have to step into it? You feel like you can just snap it off and go?
I feel like I can make every throw.
You can make every throw. Yeah, I mean, I believe so too. Like, I just want to. Sometimes there's throws though that guys want. You're like, man, sometimes I got to step in a little bit more, cork my hips a little bit more for deep balls. I think you're probably better medium to deep accuracy than probably sometimes. I think on some of your shorter throws, you can probably pull off the hose a little bit.
Yeah.
Have a little touch on some of the shorter ones.
Yes, sir.
But again, that's something that you can grow to, right? I mean, that's something that comes with it. Tell me about the transition from Baylor to Tulsa. Why make that switch? And I mean, we don't. What scouts are going to ask this question? Why do you make that move?
So, in there, my freshman year, the whole ordeal with the Baylor deal, and so played out my freshman year with that coaching staff. Then they all left. Coach Rule and a whole new coaching staff came in, and decided to stick around. I was kind of hesitant just because. I'd never been around, something like that's happened. Decided to stick around, see how it goes. Played the 2017 season with Rule, ended up getting hurt. And then I think I was back for like the next, maybe the last game. I was able to, play a little bit. And then really just came down to, me and Coach Will weren't really seeing eye to eye on, certain things. So I decided it was best for me to go ahead and, to transfer. And then I knew Coach Monty was up at Tulsa. And, of course, he recruited me out of high school. He was the first one to recruit me to come down to Grandview and talk to him. And I knew that I would have a spot up there at Tulsa to, come up there and compete and go play for him. So decided to do that. And then, of course, knowing him and having a, relationship with him prior, I think it made that transition a little bit smoother than, going into some place that's just completely foreign,
Sure.
So it was good, man. I really enjoyed it. I think the transition was really well. And, it was pretty smooth.
Yeah, I think that's something that can not just be beneficial then, but can carry on through when you have those type of special connections with somebody.
Yeah.
And every time you talk about great quarterbacks across the league, there's a lot of times you're talking about special connections that they have or developed with somebody at that team or at that league. And, even these guys that are just transcendent, like Aaron Rodgers, they all had to get that initial comfort,
Yeah.
and then now he makes people comfortable, right?
Yeah,
It's
for
kind
sure.
of flip-flops. And so, that's the key. And, again, and maybe if you just what you did at Tulsa at the next level, then you find somebody there's a special connection, then you're the next guy up real quick. I mean, it can come fast.
It's gonna sound silly, but it's just the way the NFL works and the way the world works. It's kind of cool to end up in Carolina, wouldn't it? Though, what if all of a sudden Rule and you just everything's great?
Yeah, man, that'd be cool.
Yeah,
That'd be
that's
cool,
what I'm
man.
saying, right? Because you're adults. I mean, everybody, you get through stuff. Life happens, right? And then
for sure.
you move on. And if he wants to win, you can't hold grudges. And that happens. It happens all the time. I mean, right? You chew a receiver up or run a wrong route, and then the next time you get out there, you throw it to him for a touchdown.
Nothing personal, yeah.
Right. I mean,
exactly.
and I think that's what's great about our game and what's great about football is that everyone has all these different personalities that at some point have to meld together to make a championship. And now that being said, dream team, if you had one, like, is it?
I think it might be one about 15 miles down the road here.
Yeah, is it Cowboys? I mean, but that's the thing. I get everywhere from Texas is the Texans, but could it be the Texans? Could it be? I mean, there's other. Maybe you grew up a Packer fan, so you want, or Favre fan, so you're a Packer fan or something. I don't know.
Yeah, I grew up a Favre fan. I also grew up a Troy Aikman fan.
Sure.
So I mean, dream team would probably be the Cowboys. It's 45 minutes away from my home.
That'd be cool.
That'd be awesome. But it doesn't really. At the end of the day, it doesn't really matter.
As you look at the quarterbacks when you were growing up, because that's when we start fantasizing, right, and really identifying with them, and then you get playing the game, and then really you start trying to pick out things of their game. But back when you were younger and you were looking up to certain quarterbacks and saying, I want to develop into that, who are some of the guys that you were looking at?
I mean, I didn't necessarily get to watch some of them, but I mean, Dan Marino I got to watch him play, not in person,
that's
not
Bridges'
live,
buddy.
obviously.
Yeah, that's my guy, man.
They used to play together. That tells you how old back you're.
Yeah,
but I mean,
Marino.
an absolute cannon, quick release. Love watching him, Troy Aikman, Tom Brady, Brett Favre. I mean, and now Aaron Rodgers for however long,
And I tell you what, I love the guy. So this is a compliment as hell. You know who your play reminds me of? Jay Cutler.
Jay Cutler. Yep, I liked him too.
And you fire it, and then aggressive when it comes to tucking it and slamming. You go, and he's the same way. And it was always. And Cutler had some tremendous things, made a Pro Bowl, moved it down there. Maybe he threw a couple extra picks, but you clean it up in the pocket, you with the right offensive coordinator, you can go anywhere.
Yeah.
Just, I see a lot of that. And you guys are identical size, and I feel like you could go hang out with him on his farm in Nashville and go shoot shit. You got it just kind of all comes together. But these are their molds, and then when you see that, where your place could be by just seeing the same traits that you possess in there. And it's very easy. So if it's the Cowboys or it ends up being the Packers or the Carolina, that's kind of the fun of the season, right?
Yeah.
But, that's it. On Thursday, we're going out. You're going to be slinging the ball a little bit more. And what are some of the things you're going to try to show scouts and media and everything out there that you think that they might want to see you be able to work upon?
I would say just being comfortable within like my drop backs, stuff like that, my footwork, quick feet, and then just being accurate with the ball and arm strength. I think my footwork's gotten a lot better. Just throughout the years. I think I've really been working on that, and I feel comfortable. Dropping back and hitting that fifth or whatever step and making the throw. So I think those are probably the biggest things that I think scouts will want to see, and just being able to throw the ball on the move and stuff like that.
I think one of the things I was going to say is one of the things where it's going to help you, and I think it helps every young quarterback, but that first year in the NFL, if you're playing or not playing, just not having school, not having anything else to really do. It's your job.
That'd be nice.
Where you can literally just go work on those mechanics every day. Your golf game, and that's really what you're doing, right? You're hunting, fishing, golfing, and then you're working on your footwork, right?
Yeah, for sure.
I think that's learning even study habits better. But I think that's going to be a big, that's a big thing for you. And I think as you continue to grow into it, you have the prototypical. I mean, I know we talk about this all the time, right? Quarterback is shifting everybody. There's the Kyler Murray, Baker Mayfield kind of quarterback group. Then you still have your Aaron Rodgers, your big statuesque, the guys, the Bradys and the guys that are still ripping it that way. And so I think it's, I as I looked at this and when I started scouting this, I was like, okay, that's the guy, just because I knew your history and followed you for a long time. And I was just like, when you were coming here, I was like, man, that's a huge get for not only the Gridiron Showcase, but for you.
Yes, sir.
And it's going to be exciting for you to, when your name's called in this draft, it's going to be a big thing. And then it just comes down to you just showing up every day and putting in the work. But I think you got a really good career in front of you. It's going to be exciting to watch that and, have some fun on Thursday.
Yes, sir. Thank you. I appreciate it.
Hey, we appreciate having on.
Yes, sir.
And,
Thank you.
Thursday we'll be out there. We'll be showcasing you.
Yeah,
have some good throws. Wow, the girls. Okay,
Yeah.
we'll be out there.
We'll see. We'll see. I appreciate y'all.
Thank you. Yeah, it's a good kid.
He's got the talent. You can see, right? I mean, shaking his hand, right? I mean, it's like his hand ate my hand up.
It's like concrete.
He gets it, right? I mean, he knows how. He's got a quarterback swagger to him. He understands the position. He can make every throw. Like I said, I mean, when you watch it, there's some throws that he makes that you're just like, wow. I mean, it pops off the tape. And so I think there's going to be when there's going to be a quarterback coach, you're going to find like a Bruce Arians. You're going to find a guy who just loves that, because that Bruce Arians, he kind of fits the Tampa Bay mold,
he does.
Right? I mean, it's kind of that
mid to deep kind of slinger.
Yeah, can rip it. Again, he's got some stuff he can clean up, but he's one of the things I think goes underrated for a quarterback is he's got soft hands in the shotgun, and so catches every ball clean, right? Got a good high ball carriage right to his chest, snap throw, good follow through. Doesn't have to cork it to rip it. Deep. He can flow. Sometimes he does lock onto a receiver here or there. He touched on that, and that's one of the things he needs to correct on. Every young quarterback does, though.
Well,
Looking through your progression, it's a thing.
You look at what he's talking about, and you look at what film. That's what I like to line up is whenever what they say and what you see on film mesh up. It makes this program, doing this so much easier.
Yep.
But the things he's talking about working on are things you can actually work on.
Right.
At the quarterback position, there's some things you're not going to just do, and you can't make the next level.
Yep.
Zach Smith can make the next level.
Agreed.
So, these are the type of guys.
And you're going to take a chance on a guy like Zach Smith because he is 6'3", 225, 230, right? Has a huge arm. Okay, and he can move his feet in the pocket, can still do the athletic things that you want. You take that as a piece of clay and go put him on your practice squad, or you keep him on, as your third, and then you say, okay, hey, maybe he's not in 2021 a guy, but by 2022 or 2023, this could be a guy that we are looking to. So that's what I'm saying. Like, if you can put him down, I like what Josh Rosen did, right? So Josh Rosen, former first-round pick from UCLA, gets drafted by Arizona. They cut him because they go on Kyler Murray, and they want a different, Cliff Kingsbury wants a different guy. And then he ends up going to, bouncing around and kind of going to different teams. And he ends up then he signs as a practice squad player to Tampa Bay just so he can work with Bruce Arians and be behind Blaine Gabbert and Tom Brady. And then San Francisco signs him late in the year. But this is a guy now, he's been in different systems, understands it, knows, hey, I don't know. He said it. He came out and said it after the draft. Nobody really taught me how to read
coverages,
right? And then read coverages. And so now you go behind some of the best, right? Tom Brady is a guy to teach you. Bruce Arians is a great guy to teach you. Go learn that. And then all of a sudden now you got to put it into practice. You could do a lot worse than Zach Smith. I mean, there's some quarterbacks right now on rosters that are worse than what he is right now.
Oh, that's what I was about to say.
So,
you look at you hear practice squad quarterback, and you think of a guy that's never going to, he just stays on your practice squad, falls off, and you don't catch back up with him. But he's a guy that I already know is better than tons of these practice squad quarterbacks out there right now. He's going to go on, and you know what? If there are a couple injuries happen, and they, he gets promoted and gets in a game, he can go win a game for you.
Sure. Well, it's funny you say that, because remember we talked at the combine. Steven Montez from Colorado was kind of my crush guy.
Yeah.
And then he finished up the season on the active roster for the Redskins. This year, Washington football team. Gotta keep doing that. But for the Washington football team, and so there are guys like that you see that. I think Zach Smith is. I think he's a draftable player. I think he's a 5th, 6th round draft pick. In this quarterback group, I don't know how great. It's a little bit top heavy, and then there's kind of a lull in there, and I think he kind of fits in that lull period. But all you need is one team that kind of falls in love with that his physicality and what he does. And I think he was invited every other game. Senior Bowl can only take X amount of quarterbacks, right? You can only take 6 quarterbacks. So if you say, okay, well, you're not going to get. There's a couple juniors or whatever else. If he's the quarterback number 9, quarterback number 10, okay. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'll be quarterback number 10 in this class, and I'll still go somewhere in the 5th, 4th, 5th round and then just learn and get a chance. And, we see how guys get hurt nowadays. And you talked about it earlier, the expansion of rosters, practice squads, whatever else. We might see Zach Smith taking some valuable snaps in 2021 or 2022, and that's okay. Because even then, there's some things he needs to clean up. There's some things he needs to, with his completion percentage, he's got to be a little bit better on that. Throws it too hard on some of his short routes. But the rawness and the things that he has physically that God gave him, you can't teach. And that's the start jump off. A good quarterback coach, a good coach, offense coordinator will fine tune those things, and then you might have a dog. Then all of a sudden you have a guy that you're like, boom.
I think you said it right with ball of clay, right? And not just the term. You talk about he actually is one. You sit here and talk to him, and you know I will work with any of the information. We've talked to other quarterbacks who are set in their ways that are just they don't answer these questions the same way. They believe in what they're doing, and they sometimes if their footwork is a little off, they say, yeah, I got a little work on. He's like, yeah, I'd like to reconstruct this, and I hope I can learn here a little more on Thursday and keep growing, and then get to a team and doing that. And ultimately, that's what you want is a guy that can be moldable like that. And you know what? That's a lot of these offensive coordinators' dreams out there is just a kid that they can mold, and it makes them look so much better. These offensive coordinators, and they love the ego and the boost and say they built the kid.
Well, right. And the other part about it is you're not going to miss. Right. It's hard to take a chance on a 6 foot, 200-pound guy that maybe had good production, but you're not sure, right? You can take a 6'3", 225 guy, and even if you miss, at least you know what I mean? Like there's that clay. You're like, okay, he had everything we had, right? Like he's Todd Marinovich, right? I mean, old school myself. I mean, people don't probably know that name, but he was the guy, right? I mean, he was the quarterback guy. Drugs and stuff, downfall, but he had the part. He looked the part. He's what you wanted. And so you can't miss with guys like,
I'll tell you what,
take a chance on a guy like Zach Smith.
It may be a little bit different situation, but, it wasn't too long. And this is his favorite player. Tom Brady was, a late round guy. They took a flyer on that, nobody, it was a hunk of clay, wasn't it?
We're going to look great when we're playing this back at this guy. See Tom Brady. This video, we'll be playing this for years. We'll play.
You better get a lot of rings going.
Let's go.
Come on in, man.
Yeah, David Moore. Let's get him going.
What's up, guys?
Hey.
Good to see you, man.
No doubt.
This is our Manscaped guy.
Yeah, our Manscaped MVP of the day.
Right. Sounds good. Do I keep this on or I can take it off?
You can take it off,
man.
All right, man.
Let me pull up everything beautiful about you here.
Right there.
Yeah, there it is. So David Moore, David_Moore5, right? You can get the big fans and get everybody following you. Exciting day out there. We had our crew, half our crew is there, half our crew is here. They're beaming back what's going on, and they were like, David Moore was coming back in. It was a lot of good out there. So, you can, in some of the basic fundamental stuff you do out on that field, little things can show up either which way, good or bad.
Yeah, exactly.
And so you see everybody out there seeing the good that comes of you. And I think that starts a buzz, and then you continue in the week and have a great week, and that really drives it up. But I know you've been excited about David Moore, and when he came past, you lit up, and we talked a little bit earlier, and I think not only can you see it out on the field, you do it, but just talking with you already know you got the presence about yourself to be able to be under center at this next level and play for a team and win games. I mean, it just get the feel.
No doubt. I really appreciate that. And, I think first off, I want to say thank you guys for, being able to host this type of event, especially for someone like me. And, there's a lot of people, here at this event that are like me. And, there's some that are more fortunate, but for people like me, I mean, this is everything, you know what I mean? I'm not going to get, this kind of opportunity, often. So, for me to go out there on the field today, like a couple, there was a ball that was flat or something, and somebody was like, hey, like, sorry, man. I'm like, yo, like, I'm blessed to be here. I'm so excited to be here. Like, everything is all good. Like, they were complaining it was a little cold. I'm like, I don't even feel it, man. Like, we're out, And I know that all of the athletes here feel the same way. So I just want to say thank you to you guys too.
Yeah, we appreciate it. We love being here with you. And there's a lot of scouts out there, and they want to find, when they want to find good attributes, they're going to try to find your negative ones, right?
No doubt,
and work out that. And Bridge is long-term scout, player, age, everything you ever want to be in the analyst, and now here we are. But the one thing that he has a real passion for, and we do, is finding your positive attributes and accentuating them, and then showing everybody else, because that's where we want to see it, and bring your story out, because it's true. It's good. If you're headed to the combine, which is canceled, and all these other things, and now we get an opportunity to sit down and people get to meet the real David Moore, and I think that's an exciting opportunity for us more than it is even for David.
Well, and I think where this is good for you and I've talked quite a bit. We got a lot of mutual friends and people we know, and so it's exciting for David not to have played, right? That's why this is a big deal.
100%.
For COVID, for a lot of guys, we've talked to quite a few guys already. Lost the 2020 season because they're whatever, Division II was canceled. Right. Some of the bigger schools were canceled. You had a unique situation with your PED situation. Yeah. You can kind of explain that for our followers, and you got Railroad, really. I mean, Michael Shoddy is a big fan of yours. He's our director of operations, and I think the people that know your story, and I think the scouts even know your story, but to hear you say it, it even makes my heart break even more. Yeah. Because I've been through it with some of my clients and guys like that.
No doubt.
But so that's where this is a big time showcase for you, right? Because this is the real first football you've had for a long time. And you had some success at Memphis, then you go to Central Michigan. You are a strong leader. You play with swagger, right? Easy in the pocket, really easy arm, whatever else.
Yeah.
I want to see you still build up a little bit of strength. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely. So do I.
Maybe you want to take some PEDs. I'm kidding. I'm joking. I'm joking. It's just, I think you have the necessary skill set to do it, but you haven't been able to do it, right?
Exactly.
And I think we've talked to quite a few guys that we talked to Aaron Henderson, who played the linebacker in the NFL for 8 years. And that's one of the things he said. He's like, because of the transfer portal, because of COVID, we've got guys bouncing around all over the place. Yeah. They kind of lose track of them. And so I'm excited for you to showcase what you can do on Thursday. You know what I'm saying? Because I think that's going to be big for you. Even doing great today, the stage is different on Thursday, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Because now you're throwing to legit, big time receivers, throwing some guys back.
Yeah, next to big time quarterbacks who've had big years coming off. I know Peyton's here, right?
Yep.
And then you guys were just talking to Zach. Yep. Both of those guys are coming off big years, and then Brady Davis, who one of my good friends, has put together great years
with him, correct?
Exactly. Yeah. And so that's like my big brother, and so yeah, I mean, to put myself, in a room with them, on the field, throwing and competing. I mean, that's exactly what I want, to just show people like, hey, I didn't, have the opportunity to, as I would have liked in college, but I mean, the ability, the intelligence, the talent is all there. So, it's a big time blessing for me, for sure.
What's not there? What are NFL teams, when these scouts downstairs talk to you tomorrow, right? You do a bunch of interviews tomorrow, sitting at the tables, talking to these guys. What are they going to say? What are your weaknesses? What does David Moore need to do to be in a quarterback room on Sundays?
Yeah, no doubt. So I think for me, the biggest thing right now is, I weighed in at low 190s, and, that's the biggest thing that I'm focusing on. I got a great team down in Pensacola at Exos, and the whole month of February, we're going to be hitting it. We're going to be big weight gain. And, I've been in, the 205 to 210 area before. It's just about that consistency for me, and that's what they want to see with my weight. Talking with a few scouts, they said, they want me to at least be 200 on my pro day. That's on March 9th. So, I mean, for me, the biggest thing going forward is, just like you mentioned earlier, I need to add some size to my frame, and I got a big frame. I got big shoulders. You know what I mean? I can add on as much as you need, but, they want to see it happen. So.
Sure. A lot easier when you're playing.
Yeah.
Right. I mean,
don't wear it down a little bit. Yeah. Right.
It all makes sense. I mean, if you, I tell you what, look at the offensive lineman after they're out of the league or two. Look at all the recruits. He looks like a figure model now, right? So it's like, yeah, you slim. So, your playing weight and what your everyday weight can be completely different. That's normal.
100%.
So it just makes sense. And so people might look at a stat sheet and go, oh, what's this? But once you get going and playing and getting going, it's just tough right now to have a cold start. But
100%.
Here's the key: when you got money to eat right, it's a lot easier to eat right. That's what I tell people all the time. I'm like, man, listen, if you've been in a college,
I'm glad you said that.
Right? Like, if you've been in a college program, right, and you don't have that, maybe that Pell Grant check or that scholarship check going toward housing or whatever.
Exactly.
Else, it's hard to eat, and it's hard to gain weight. It's hard to keep it up, and especially with all the stuff you've been going through.
Yeah.
If you don't have anything consistent, so that is part of. You're right. Going out, getting those protein shakes and getting that, be able to watch what you're putting in your body is going to make a big deal for you. Your body transformation should be pretty big in the next month and a half, 2 months.
No doubt.
I think you had easy release. You know, I mean, you get hyped up. Your teammates love you. Yeah, that's a cool thing. I like when I watch guys on video when they throw a touchdown, and they're the first ones to run down and celebrate, and everybody else is celebrating with them.
Yeah.
We had Zach on here earlier.
Okay.
And the first thing he said, I watched a lot of him live.
Okay.
You can when he goes to the sideline and the offensive linemen want to talk to him and the receivers want to talk
Exactly.
to him.
They're excited to play for him.
Yeah, they want hey man, I'll go to bat for you. I want you in my foxhole.
No doubt.
You could see that the guys at Central Michigan had that same thing.
Oh yeah.
I talked to an offensive lineman that you were with in Memphis, he said you're his boy. So I mean that's when when old linemen like the quarterback,
yeah,
right? Because they're the first ones, and they know, right?
Yeah.
Most old linemen are pretty just basic dudes, man.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, they're the sloppy pigs,
yeah.
right? They don't care. But they'll tell you what it is.
Oh yeah, they'll always be straight up with you, no doubt.
That's just kind of the old lineman's credo, right? And so when you got old linemen giving you shouts out, that's a cool thing for you too, man.
100%.
I think that's great. So I'm excited to watch you. I think it's gonna be fun.
I know you got options, as we go through, and now with the XFL kicking off, that's shown to pave the way. I mean, we were just talking about Heine, and there's different guys. So there's you're going to get paid here to go play football, which is a cool thing.
Yeah,
pretty
absolutely.
soon, right? But if we make it up, and here we are, we're sitting in the NFL. They expanded practice rosters anyway, so there's more opportunities there. But if you're going to land somewhere, you get to pick this time. If they're not picking you, you pick them.
Yeah.
Where would you go?
I mean, first off, I would, just want to say any opportunity anywhere, I'd go play in the middle of Alaska. You know what I mean? That's
what
just
a pocket answer.
No, but I'm going to give you an answer though. I'll give you an answer.
I'm saying it's very cute. I appreciate it because that's the political answer, right? I mean, we have a former mayor candidate over there, but I'm saying I appreciate the ansser. But all right, now
the real answer. I mean, so far with the teams that I've been talking with the most, Miami and New York, for later round undrafted guy.
It'd be great to back up Deshaun Watson either place.
100%. Either way, who knows where he'll end up? Who knows?
Yeah, right.
Who knows?
But
yeah, man. So I mean, I'd love a place like Arizona.
Sure.
You know what I mean? A place like Seattle.
Right.
I kind of want to get into a place where there's a quarterback in place who with similarities to me. You know what I mean?
The cities you were naming kind of fit the mold that you play as, and I think that's good. We were just talking about how Rosen tried to go find himself underneath somebody that could show the same thing. If you're under Kyler Murray or Wilson, I think you guys have that same thing. You're not going to get 3 inches taller overnight, right? You might be able to put on some pounds, but you can't go up the other side. Bridge shrinks, so it goes the other way.
You get older,
crazy,
you shrink,
right? It only goes one way.
I was 6'4" at one point.
But we're obviously seeing a trend in this league that, you go back maybe 50 years, there were 6-foot quarterbacks. Then they all got 6'5", 6'6". This is what they were. Now we're going back. Drew Brees, he's 6 foot on a good day, really. And, we talk about Wilson, same height. You talk about Kyler Murray, he's 5'10". All you got to be able to do is hit the accurate pass and be able to scramble out of that pocket. These bootlegs are getting very, very popular as, if you get an offensive line somewhere that's not the greatest, right? You look at Wilson, that line is always fighting for its life over there. And so is he. He gets sacked like crazy.
And that's why he has, the perfect quarterback for being there.
Yeah.
Yep.
And, you look at, a place like the Los Angeles Rams too. And I know that they have Jared Goff and he's, a bigger prototypical type of guy, but the offense that they run, they do a lot of bootleg. They do a lot of moving their quarterback designed out of the pocket, throwing on the run type of deal. But I mean, I'll say this too. I take pride in my ability to pocket pass, you know what I mean? And I can throw in rhythm. I can, I'm 6'1", so I'm not, that short. Like I'm, not a prototypical size, but I take pride in my ability to stay in the pocket and throw and, at all levels, and I feel like I throw a great deep ball and intermediate as well. So for me, I feel like I could go anywhere, obviously, probably not a place that prefers the bigger, prototypical type of model quarterback, but, anywhere I feel like I'd be able to find my niche.
Yep. That's all you can ask for, man. Congratulations on a big day today.
Thank you.
We'll see you out here tomorrow and then Thursday. We're excied to get some more film on you and,
yes, sir.
And watch this process grow.
No doubt. I appreciate you guys having me on. Thank you very much.
Manscaped Player of the Day.
Yes, sir.
Hey,
Sounds good.
news
Appreciate you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Man, thanks, brother.
Yeah.
We done get something? We give him something.
Yeah,
don't we?
we're getting.
You got him saying he's getting some.
We're here all for a week. We got him a perfect package kit that's going to go out there.
I think that's pretty great, right?
Oh,
I mean, what
he's going to look good.
Doing that for us.
What Deion Sanders say? Look good, smell good, get paid good, feel good. What was his whole saying? Right? You were leading to it.
I've never.
You were a big Deion Sanders guy.
Yeah, no,
you guys
but I'm saying, but I was never a feel good, look good, like whatever. That's not my deal. We'll get some guy with swagger. I'm not a swagger guy. That's not me. I get what he's saying, but it was never me.
You know, he was over there. We were talking to him, and I'm 6 foot, and he felt like I'm looking up at him.
I felt like I was gonna say when you were talking about Kyler Murray and stuff, I'm like, I think they could be looking up to David. I mean, he seems more. He comes across very
tall.
well.
You know, whoever measured him at 6'1", I think the tape's broke, right?
He's got a nice. You know what? I like. He's smooth.
Yeah.
Talks very well. Mm-hmm. You could tell he's got a quarterback way about him. And my favorite part of that whole interview, my favorite part was. Here you are talking to him about all bad offensive lines, rolling out of the pocket, blah, 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 where he fits. And all of a sudden he goes, hey, wait, I'm pretty good from the pocket, man. I can slide up in the pocket. You know what I mean? Like,
don't make me a running quarterback.
Don't put me in a box, bro. You know what I mean? I got this. Don't tell me what I can do.
That's right.
And I like that because you have to be able to do it all. If you want to have a chance, you know what I'm saying? I mean, Tom Brady knows his strengths. Drew Brees knows his strengths. Aaron Rodgers knows what they can do. But at the same point, and I'm not comparing them to any of those guys. I'm saying you play to your strengths, but if you want to last a long time, you also got to then get the best thing I've ever heard, and I use this in my life, personal life. Okay, man, you know your strengths, right? So like, I know I talk a lot. I know, but I got a big personality, right? But I know I'm not whatever. Maybe I'm not the best looking or whatever else. Okay, so you build up your strengths.
I don't think we need to get.
Yeah, no, I don't think. Okay, right. But you build up your strengths, right? And then you're just trying to get your negatives. Just to average, right? If you can do that, if most people can do that, you're living a pretty decent life. And especially with sports, right? He might never ever be. He's not going to be a 6'5", you know, Dan Marino type guy that's standing in the pocket, ripping it up, his zone. But be smooth in the pocket, right?
Yeah, that's right.
Read from the pocket. Be able to function from the pocket on an average to a little bit above average basis, and then the things you do well, roll out things like that. Then take that to another level. That's how you have a heck of a career, and that's all you got to do.
You look at Sunday enough, and I'll tell you, there's about 10 teams out there that wish they had a guy that can just hit the 7 to 10 yard passes,
it's unbelievable.
Bing, just throwing BBs out there.
Right.
You wish you could have that guy, and you can be elusive when the rush does come and can roll out to the pocket and hit him out.
Yep.
The guy like that can really do something in this league. So yeah, I love that. And you know what? When you say he talks well, and that's important because the fact is he's going to have to lead guys.
Yep.
And you know what? Just talking to him, you would go to war with him.
Yep. So I'm giving Gabe Kuhn a shout out. Gabe Kuhn is a former starting center for Memphis. Started, I think, 46 games at center at Memphis. Does a radio show in Memphis. Really, really smooth guy. He'll be a part of the Brawl Network at some point. I'm giving you a shout out, Gabe. You're going to be part of it. I'm telling you. But so I reached out to Gabe, knowing that David was there. First thing he says, "That's my guy." He goes, "Unbelievable dude." Okay. So when you got an offensive lineman that started a lot of games, a big time program at like Memphis. And the first thing he says, "That's my guy." I was like, "Oh, that's sweet." And then, his cousins, coach that I know, gave him a shout out. There's something to that, man. I mean, there's just when good people are taking care of good people. Most of the time, you're good people. You know what I'm saying? Like when you got good people giving you a shout out, that means there's something to your character too. So
it's important. You end up sticking on rosters. Let's go.
Let's go. Come on, man. Yeah, man.
How y'all doing?
Good.
What's going on? Nothing much, man.
Good to see you.
Oh, yeah, good to see you.
Take a seat.
Tell me your name. I'm sorry.
Brandon Stevens.
Oh, hey, Brandon. What's going on, man?
Brandon Stevens. That's good.
Let me find this here. I can get my notes out. We'll be good to go.
All right.
Are we still rolling here, brother?